Detective John Harris stared at the crime scene with a furrowed brow. The room was bathed in an eerie glow from the flickering fluorescent lights, casting unsettling shadows on the lifeless bodies strewn across the floor. The air was heavy with the stench of death, and an unshakable unease settled in John's gut. The victims, 7 in total, lay in grotesque contortions. Their lifeless eyes stared into the abyss, reflecting the horror that had unfolded in this once quiet apartment. John, seasoned in investigating gruesome crimes, felt a chill crawling up his spine as he tried to make sense of the chaos. What baffled him the most was the absence of any apparent cause of death. No visible wounds, no signs of struggle, just bodies frozen in the act of mundane activities. A woman mid-sip from a coffee mug, a man reaching for a book on the shelf, a child with toys scattered around. It was as if time had seized them in the midst of everyday life. As John examined the scene, he noticed peculiar details. The furniture seemed to warp and shift, distorting the perception of space. Shadows danced unnaturally, defying the laws of physics. The air whispered with unheard secrets, leaving John with a growing sense of disorientation. The forensic team worked diligently, their faces etched with confusion. Autopsies revealed no toxins, no diseases, no signs of foul play. The cause of death remained elusive, shrouded in a perplexing enigma that seemed to defy logic. John delved into the victims' backgrounds, seeking connections that could unravel the mystery. Yet, the threads led only to a web of unrelated lives. No commonalities, no shared history. It was as if the victims were plucked from disparate corners of existence and thrust into this macabre tableau. Night after night, John found himself haunted by disturbing dreams. Visions of the crime scene played on an endless loop, each replay more surreal than the last. Faces of the victims contorted into grotesque masks, accusing him with silent screams. The line between wakefulness and nightmare blurred, and John questioned his own sanity. In the pursuit of answers, John stumbled upon an old case file hidden deep in the police archives. A similar pattern emerged, a series of unexplainable deaths, each as confounding as the current investigation. The names, locations, and circumstances differed, but the eerie commonality persisted. As he dug deeper, John uncovered a cryptic connection. A symbol that appeared in both cases, an obscure glyph etched onto a wall in the apartment, repeated in the previous crime scenes. It held an otherworldly aura, hinting at a malevolent force that transcended the boundaries of rationality. Driven by an unrelenting need for closure, John sought guidance from an eccentric occult expert named Dr. Isabella Stone. In her dimly lit study, adorned with esoteric artifacts, Dr. Stone listened intently to John's account of the baffling investigation. "Detective Harris," she said, with a gravitas that sent shivers down his spine, "you've stumbled upon something beyond the grasp of conventional understanding. These symbols are a gateway, a connection to a realm that defies the laws of our reality." As Dr. Stone delved into ancient texts and forbidden knowledge, John felt the weight of an unseen malevolence pressing on him. The air thickened, and shadows seemed to coil around the room. He questioned the sanity of seeking answers in the occult, but desperation spurred him forward. The investigation took an unsettling turn when John discovered that the symbol resonated with a forgotten cult, a group believed to have harnessed dark energies for forbidden rituals. The cult's practices involved transcending the boundaries of life and death, manipulating the fabric of reality itself. In a daring move, John infiltrated an abandoned cultist lair, guided by the cryptic information Dr. Stone provided. The air within the hidden chamber crackled with arcane energy as he confronted a cloaked figure, the cult's last remaining devotee. "You meddle in affairs beyond your understanding, Detective," the figure hissed, its voice a haunting echo. "The balance has been disrupted, and chaos will reign until the gateway is sealed." With a surge of supernatural power, the cultist vanished, leaving John alone in the chamber. The symbols on the walls pulsed with an otherworldly glow, and the room seemed to warp and twist. Reality itself hung by a fragile thread. In a final act of defiance, John traced the symbol with his own blood, reciting an incantation he barely comprehended. The chamber convulsed with energy as a blinding light enveloped him. When it subsided, he found himself back in the apartment, the crime scene now eerily silent. The bodies remained, but the distortion had lifted. The furniture stood still, the shadows behaved, and the air held no whispers. The victims' frozen expressions softened, as if released from a malevolent grip. John stood in the aftermath, grappling with the surreal events that had unfolded. The occult force that plagued his investigation had retreated, leaving only the lingering question of whether the balance had truly been restored, or if a greater cosmic reckoning loomed on the horizon.
If you enjoyed the story, like the video, subscribe and activate the bell for more.